Hey everybody. I was at my in-laws this week, and we don't have cable at our home, but they do. And so they had the Game Show Network on. Uh, and we're watching the Game Show Network, and there was a commercial that came up on the screen for a game show called the American Bible Challenge. Okay. It's hosted by Jeff Foxworthy. Actually, if you want to take a look at the commercial, I'll play it for you. It's only 30 seconds. So we'll go ahead and we'll play that now.
So I just got married in Canaan. Thank you very much. True story, at the wedding, this guy from Nazareth shows up. He turned the water into wine. I'm like, hey, you want to perform a real miracle? How about turning my wife into a good cook? You got to work at marriage, though, don't you think? It's great to be here.
The American Bible Challenge. All new season premieres May 22nd, only on Game Show Network.
Now, I'm sure you kind of get where I'm going to be going with this video. I can't begin to describe how irreverent of a commercial that is for something that's supposed to be a real, Christian type show. Apparently, this isn't a new show. I've never heard of this show before in my life until I saw that commercial. But apparently it aired originally in 2012, and it's been going for 3 seasons. The 3rd season is going to debut in May. Now, apparently it's a game show where they quiz your knowledge of the Bible, but they can't just have it be something, reverent or something that, like, okay, how much do you know about the Bible? How much do you know about Bible doctrine? No, they got to make it all, To quote the host of the show, Jeff Foxworthy, he said, "We try to be reverent, but we also want to be hip and relevant." Does he even understand what he just said? When he says something like that, we try to be reverent, but, well, then if you're trying to be reverent but something else, well, then you're not reverent. Now this show, I guess there's a bunch of people that go on the show. It's like teams of 3. Obviously they're trying to do the whole Trinity thing, but there's groups of 3, a couple teams of 3. That they go on the show, they answer questions based on the Bible, and the end goal, whoever wins, the charity that they choose to represent gets, prize money. Okay, sounds all well and good, giving to charity, but again, this is a really just, it's almost like they're making fun of the Bible, rather than, say making it look like it's the Word of God, showing it for what it is. They're really just, to me, it seems like they're just trying to make a mockery of it. But apparently this show was the highest rated show on Game Show Network in its history. It had the most views of any show on that network in history. I think this is just more proof of this whole false Christian religious right paradigm that we're seeing, especially with like the Catholic Church, and like I mentioned in one of my other videos, this whole religious freedom Obamacare thing that's going on, this false war, and I think that this plays along with it. Okay, so there's an article on zaptoit.com about the American Bible Challenge. They interviewed Jeff Foxworthy about the 2nd season of the American Bible Challenge. It was written in March 2013, so it was written last year. And they were talking about the new season that was coming up, which would have been season 2. And the reason I'm bringing it up in this video is because I think it's a very good indication of the type of show this is, and how it really plays into this ecumenism, and how it's really just not good for Christianity. It's not good for the Bible. You need to stay as far away from this garbage as you can. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple quotes. Okay. The first quote that I'm going to give you is, okay, Foxworthy's busy schedule has permitted him to see only one episode of the Bible. whose executive producers include Mark Burnett, Foxworthy's boss for the run of the game show Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Now I know that in my Antichrist conspiracy video about Barack Obama, I mentioned Mark Burnett and Roma Downey, who were the executive producers of the Bible, how they're devout Catholics, and in a way, they are devout Catholics because they're also New Agers, so that they get the best of both worlds. And this is the guy that was Foxworthy's boss for one of his other game shows that he did. Okay, now listen to this part, and I think this part is even more important. This is directly from Jeff Foxworthy's mouth. I thought Mark did a great job with it, meaning a great job with the miniseries The Bible. I remember him talking to me about it on the early end of it. He said his kids were rolling their eyes at the old depictions of biblical stories. So he said, okay, let me see if I can tell this in a more modern way. He certainly didn't lack the passion for it. People have taken a few shots at it, but that's okay. Okay. See, the kids nowadays, they're rolling their eyes at the old depictions of the Bible. We need to give them a new depiction of the Bible. We need to freshen things up a little bit. Just like he's doing with this garbage of a show, American Bible Challenge, or whatever it's called. See, the old ways, you can't, no, don't seek ye the old ways, or the old paths wherein there is wisdom. Don't seek the old ways. We gotta have the new, we gotta have the new age. We gotta have, the new Bible versions. The new international version. The new American Standard Version. We gotta have these. You can't, no, that King James, stay away from that. Now, I'm getting off on a tangent here, but this is kind of what we're seeing. And this is what the show is all about. It's all about ecumenism. It's all about coming together in the new way of looking at the Bible. There actually has been some Catholic nuns that have been on the show. They're of course presented as real, true, devout Christians. Even though they have them. If you see on YouTube, you can go ahead and look at these. They're in their monastery or whatever, with their holy water. You gotta take your holy water before you go in to the church. But yeah, they're presented as real Christians. They also had rabbis on this show, who they had to brush up on their New Testament, get like New Testament for Dummies or whatever that they said. And one of them's a woman. I don't know where you get that from the Bible at all, a female rabbi. But it's just, like I said, it's just making a joke out of it. And then they have some gospel singer, Kirk Franklin, who makes even more of a joke. Of course, they have to put that, contemporary Christian music involved and everything. I think it's just really a really irreverent show. And I would just say, if you've ever heard of it, if you want to do some research on this, like I said, it just seems like a really irreverent way of doing anything. But lastly, what I want to say about the show is that, which shouldn't be a surprise to us, this show has as one of its executive producers a man named Michael Davies. Okay, Michael Davies also produced, he's also one of the executive producers for another Game Show Network show, The Newlywed Game, which is all about talking to newlyweds about their sex life, asking them real, personal questions and putting them out on TV for everybody to laugh at and, get all giddy about. So again, it's the same person who's producing that show that's producing the American Bible Challenge. So that's got to tell you the type of show you're walking into when you see this. This is not a good show. This is not good for Christianity. This is not good for the Bible. This is a farce. And it's making your faith and my faith look bad because they're making a joke out of it. Okay, I just wanted to do a video on this because I feel like it's an important topic. Again, I've never heard of this show until very recently. If you guys have heard anything about it, if you want to leave a comment or anything like that, you're more than welcome. And like I said, just do some research on it, and you'll see that this is really bad for Christianity, really bad for the Word of God.